gorgeous! Welcome back to another video. What if I told you I knew something about Corona that you didn't know? What if I told you that Corona was taking more lives than we're being told? No, I'm not talking about the global pandemic right now. I'm talking about Corona, California. On this episode of Soul Searching, we're talking about the legend of the never-ending road. I figured, what better time? Okay, there probably could have been a better time to talk about this video. However, I just got a quarantine haircut, and not only that, but I mean, Corona, I had to. How could I not do this video right now? We're gonna get right into it. Legend says there was a long, winding road. When driven at night, the car and the person disappeared, never to be seen again. See, I've done all this, but I told myself I was gonna actually start with my eyes. Where did these people go? Legend says that the road was haunted, that it just truly did not stop at night, that the driver would just get in a trance and keep on driving and driving and driving. People say it was only about 20 years ago that this road was claiming the lives of its victims. It's most commonly heard that this road is actually called Leicester Road in Corona, California, which is how this video got its title. Apparently, the superstition of this road became so popular that people were scared to drive down this road in the middle of the day for fear of disappearing. This prompted the local law enforcement to do an investigation of Leicester Road. The investigation done determined that there was no never-ending road. However, what they did discover was that at the very end of Leicester Road, the road had a very sharp left turn. And on the other side of the road, there was a canyon. Like, there's a sharp curve here, so here's just a drop. But on the other side of the canyon mouth is a road where, from the right angle, it looks like it's just continued of Leicester Road. So from the right angle, you can't even tell that you're on a canyon and that there's this giant drop and there's so many more feet before the road that you're seeing in front of you, and that you actually need to turn left. Lo and behold, what did officers find when they looked down into the large gaping hole that's not a never-ending road? A bunch of cars with people strapped into it. Some people believe it was a construction crew that was working on the canyon, and one of the crew members threw a rock into the canyon and they heard the undistinguishable sound of a metal clank, and when they looked down they saw the cars, and that's how it was discovered. But that's where these people were going. However, why were there no types of signs or anything? What kind of, the people who built the road even, why was there not any types of signs or warnings, or there wasn't even a guardrail? Nothing. Regardless of how the vehicles got there, a lot of people believe that the governing officials of Corona, California had the whole thing covered up. Were they scared that they were in trouble because there was no warnings and all this was happening? I'm not sure. But what I do know is that if you ask the citizens of Corona, California, they don't know anything about this. When it supposedly happened 20 years ago, like, they haven't heard of that road at all. It doesn't exist, and they'll even say that the landscape does not match the story, which it doesn't. It's a relatively flat area. So was this cover-up just larger than we could ever imagine, and they just erased this whole town and road, but it's pretty hard to like get rid of the whole canyon. So this one person went on Google Maps and they found a road that fits the description in an area. So that's pretty cool, except this location is in Northwest Washington State. How does a legend or something that possibly occurred in Washington State become a legend of Corona, California? What's even trippier than that is some people believe that the story actually belongs to the road at Hot Springs in Alberta, Canada. So where does this legend actually come from? Did it actually happen? Maybe Corona isn't the bad guy of our story after all? But that's where the legend originates. That's where people associate it with until they do further digging and find out that that area does not meet the requirements. What do you think? Is it possible to cover up something so bad as a bunch of cars driving off the side of a canyon because no one put up signs? Or is it more likely that people just have the location wrong and it's not in Corona at all, but maybe the rest of the story is still true? Maybe it didn't even happen at all, and that's why there are so many discrepancies in the story and what actually happened. Like, was it police? Was it a construction worker? Maybe it happened more than once in different locations. Say if the road does exist and it was in your town, and like your whole life people have told you like, this road never ends, you can't drive on it at night, blah blah blah. Would you drive on the road? Somewhere amongst all the things that I found looking for information about this, there was one person who said that they did live in the town of Corona and they drove down the street when it happened, but they only went a little way because they really were truly scared of driving down this road and never coming back. So that's the story of Corona. Actually, it's the story of the never-ending road. We don't actually know that happened in Corona. I just told you that. So, that's the story. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more stories like this, then let me know. If you want more like serial killer, murder, or true crime type, then I'm up for that, or more along the mythological creatures. I've got one that I really want to do that's more along the lines of this story, but not really. If you haven't seen any of the other soul searching videos, then check them out. They'll be around this video somewhere. Leave me suggestions. Instagram, TikTok, DM me. I don't care. I'll probably look at it. I'll try. And just have a gorgeous day.